friends, welcome back again to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. This YouTube channel is dedicated to all things Bannerlord related, but especially field command and advanced tactics. And we continue on with our Companions in Blood series. This little mini-series is becoming more like a moderate series as I enjoy these challenges with this 40-man army comprised entirely of higher-level companions.
Halt there. So tell
Now,
me
we've been able to bait a force of Britannia here. They've been chasing after me for a day or so. Unfortunately, I didn't show you my companions in this episode, but as you can see, we are 100% health going into this. Now, I will show you the Britannian army here, and it is pretty fucking stacked, right? 19 Fiend Champs, 19 of their horsemen, 25 veteran Falksmen. All of these characters here, the Wildlings, these are all tier 5 or tier 6 units. They have Britannian heroes, 40 of those, 26 Falksmen, 35 veteran skirmishers. This is a stacked army. Definitely one of the hardest armies we have challenged so far in this series. I was kind of looking across to see if they had any odds and ends, other low-level characters, not low-level characters, but interesting level characters that are going to make this battle more dynamic, but it looks like sort of a vanilla, strong Britannian force, right? Tons of projectiles. And I am hoping this map has our gap here. This little map here. I think somewhere back here. Yeah. This is going to suffice. There's a series of sort of rock gaps that are a little bit like the Battle of Thermopylae, right? They're a narrow entranceway that the enemy's going to have to sort of shove their way through, that we can probably jam full with cavalry, slow down their march to attack us. Here we go. And that should give us some chance to wither them down with javelins and arrow fire and whatnot. It's not the thinnest opening. That one's rather open. I think this one far to our left here. Okay, look how tight that is. That's very tight. Even that one's not as tight as I remember them, but we're going to give this a shot here. Now, I got to pull my units a long ways. I'm going to go out and basically babysit them like a mama duck. Make sure that they all get into our nest here, and we'll prepare our defenses. So we'll set skirmishers. The 6th is skirmisher division. We'll set them offset from the infantry, and then we're going to try to bottle this up with the 2nd Cav. 2nd Cav is mostly guys with shields. A lot of them have javelins, but their main job in this early stage is going to be defense, right? Trying to clog that opening up. Now, I'm a little worried that the enemy's going to go the same way those guys did, because I chose a different path to start this episode. The enemy their pathfinding might take them kind of behind us, which will defeat a lot of the purpose of our gap defense here. So it remains to be seen whether or not this is going to work. I see some of the enemies heading towards the other direction. Well, I'm going to try to bait them. We're going to try to bring them in here. You can bait the enemy, right? If you come in aggressively, their units will start assessing you as a threat and a tasty morsel, and they will come attack you, which is precisely what I want here, right? We're going to rip off a few arms, try to kill their noble, and here we go. They are starting to press towards the gap that I want them to. Try to kill a few more nobles here, and now we're going to start to close up this gap. Alright, so we'll have the 2nd follow me and shield wall. Fuck, the enemy did get some troops behind us here. So this is suboptimal. We are now going to try to close this gap here, and hopefully not too many got behind us there. I'll have to see if I need to close it up a little bit here. It looks like we've actually got a pretty good grasp on it here. All right, so the defense is in effect. The 2nd Corps is told to charge. They are now jamming up this hole. Everybody else is on open fire, so javelins and lethal arrow shots are firing through there. Our back door is safe, just like prison. We're always watching the back door here. And thank God for friendly fire, right? Or no friendly fire. Oh shit, speak of the devil, I'm killing my companions. Well, that's going to make the challenge extra hard, right? It's already 40 against 700 and something. Now it's 39 against 700 and something. My errant javelin skills are well renowned on the channel, right? I'm known for killing lots and lots of my own troops. But fortunately, we do kill some of the enemies periodically. Now look at this bottleneck. The Cav is definitely slowing down the enemy coming in here, and the death spam of green is occurring in the upper right-hand corner. I do see infantry just barreling through here, though. Their infantry is shoving right through this, and even though they're suffering some losses, I don't think we're going to be able to actually hold this. So I had anticipated this, anticipating it not being able to hold. We are going to kite. We are actually going to kite to the other entrance that I went through and sort of looked at the beginning of this episode, and maybe we can even use that to sort of pen the enemy up a second time, right? We can kite them over to this area, attack them on the way, right? We're throwing javelins. Our guys are still shooting arrows. Kill some on the way here, and then maybe we'll be able to pen them up on this other side. It's a hail of darts, though. The Battanians are really hard under these circumstances. I would rather face like the Imperials or something like that because they are just firing javelins at us. The Battanians have some of the best javelin throwers and obviously some of the best archers in the game. Yeah, see, this pass isn't as narrow, but we might be able to sort of coop the enemy up down here and really rack up the kills. Now, I didn't see, but it seems like we lost a few companions on that initial retreat. Again, we have 40 troops in our whole army, so losses are devastating. We can't afford more than a few here in the early stages for this to be successful. All right, we're kiting now, moving guys back. As you can see, just the thousands of fucking javelins flying in on us. You got to keep your troops moving under these circumstances. I see my 6th Corps there is just being pelted. Let's get them moved out of here. Oh, fuck. It looked like an enemy horseman. We are up to two friendly fire kills in this episode, and I may end up just mumbling to myself here as this becomes a failed challenge. I have reloaded some of these challenges in the past. I'm not going to tell you whether or not this is my first attempt at this challenge or not, or at least right now I'm not going to tell you. But occasionally if we fail at these challenges, and I have failed a handful of times already, we will probably try this one again here, especially since I'm killing my own characters. This is suboptimal strategy. I don't recommend this if you're going to try a challenge like this. It's way down at the bottom of the list of things to do. All right, so let's try this. We're going to pull our troops through here. We're going to form sort of a shooting gallery arc around the exit of this lair. Unfortunately, the enemy has troops out here. They have, looks like Cav here, these fucking mounted skirmisher motherfuckers. And we're going to have to clean these guys up as best we can without getting killed here. So the 8th Corps is in pretty good shape, and a lot of those guys have 300 plus riding skills. I'm going to have them follow me here, and we're going to kind of clean up these forces that are attacking, charge damage in here, and sort of slow down their assault on our 1st and 6th Division. And I'm going to back units up here because these guys are getting pounded with throwing axes and javelins. A little bit of distance between them and the enemy here will definitely pay dividends. It looks kind of grim right now, but we do have a good setup. The enemy is pouring through there. It's a very thick amount of them, but we're going to start to trample these guys with our 2nd and 8th Corps. Our 2nd Corps is more defensive, and our 8th Corps, a lot of them have 300 plus riding skills, so they're doing massive damage when they charge through, just like me, right? 30, 37, 31. I had a subscriber actually curious why we're doing so much damage with charge damage, and to be perfectly honest, I don't know. I kind of assume everybody else is doing 25 to 35 damage with their horse. Maybe someone else can chime in here, though. He said he was only getting 15 to 20. In my experience, even when I use other companions with the RTS mod, this damage with a good horse, and 300 riding skill, 330 riding skill is pretty normal. So we have kind of the slow attrition of troops here, as this is only infantry, I think. I do not see archers. I presume their archers are still sort of down in that along the banks of the shore down there. That's optimal because they're attacking us with only one of their divisions here, right? It looks like everybody's here because it's so many troops, but there's definitely no archers here. I don't see any Battanian Fiends. I certainly don't see any Battanian Fiend champions, and this little division of their forces gives me hope that we can somehow pull this off. That said, it's a stout group of infantry here, right? These are veteran skirmishers and whatnot, and the AI does a pretty good job of keeping its infantry intact here. The enemy has a handful of cavalrymen out here sort of skirmishing with us, but I'm not gonna pay too much attention to them. My companions can handle an Imperial cataphract, right? They're not afraid. Ordinarily, you might be afraid with your archers of those guys. My companions eat fucking cataphracts for breakfast. Alright, just these hit and run attacks. The main reason I'm doing that is you don't want the enemy to draw a bead on you. If you stand still, or if you're slow, or if you run into your own horsemen in this situation, Your archers are starting to creep up. Speed is your most vital weapon here, both for more charge damage, but also to get in and get out. Right, we're going to do damage here and then beat feet to get the fuck out of there so we don't get hit like that by javelins for however much damage that was, right? That was a bunch of damage. You can see my 2nd division is kind of charging through and killing guys sort of randomly. Enemy's starting to rout here, and that's a very good sign here. That means we can start to put these guys down and hopefully deal with their archers. Dealing with their archers, though, is not going to be some simple cakewalk, right? We're talking Battanian Fiend champs, Battanian Fiends. I think they had 18 Battanian Fiend champs, if my memory is right. This is not going to be an easy thing. All right, so here's a perfect example. This is an Imperial Cataphract. He's charging my guys, and just absolutely no chance. He's fighting guys that have 250 to 330 two-handed and/or polearm skill. That guy might as well have run for president as an independent in the United States. He had no chance. All right, the archers are very standoffish here. Maybe they can see this giant pile of bodies of all their infantry that have more armor and more shields than them, and understandably they have a little bit of consternation of coming out here. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to use the ridges, the cover that these things provide. The same way in a first-person shooter, right? You would sit around the edge and snipe people. That's effectively what we're going to do here, right? We are going to use these rocks as cover. If we were out in the open right now, we'd be getting shot to absolute pieces, but the enemy, being down, sort of penned up by the beach there, is going to give us a chance to pull this off. All right, I got 1 cavalry fuck here. I'm going to try not to kill my companions. All right, someone else got him. I see fucking 9 javelins in each guy's shield. It's amazing their shields haven't broken yet. And I'm going to try to pick up as many javelins here as I can before this enemy comes in. Get myself a shield. Shit, I think I picked up an axe instead. All right, well, we got a one-handed weapon in case I need that. I generally never fight with the one-handed weapon in a battle like this. We want skirmish, or we want javelins there. There we go. We got a nice stack of javelins. And we wait here, right? We're certainly not going to charge the enemy. After all, they attacked us. They've got still 5 times our number down there. Probably 6 times, in fact, because a lot of our companions are already in the dirt. And we're going to be patient here. They're starting to spread out as if we're going to charge down there. Well, that ain't happening, boys. In fact, I'm going to pick off some of your Battanian Fiend champs and whatnot as you guys come out of there. I see Battanian Fiend champs, so this is going to be a bitch. I probably got to get back on a horse where I can do more charge damage. Although at some point or other, I may join my 6th Corps, which is skirmishers on the ground here. There's just piles of javelins here. This is beautiful. I might be able to kill 50 or 100 if they don't come up off that beach themselves. Got ourselves a nice little heavy horse here that's just wandering right up. He says, use me, jump on me, and we're going to fire in some javelins here and then get out of dodge. I think I might have to back up here. The enemy's being very passive, and I don't want to bore you to death here. This challenge is 3/4 of the way finished, and we want to have a climax here, right? We want to see if we can pull this final phase off, right? It's going to be outnumbered about 5-1 against Battanian Fiends. What we want to do here is basically, once they start to commit to coming up here, assail them nonstop with cavalry, but also keep our units at range, keep our 6th Corps and shield wall to absorb a lot of the arrows, and just do massive damage with our 2nd and 8th Corps. 2nd and 8th Corps, the cav here, there's only 8 guys left, but those guys cycle charging through here along with me. Unfortunately, I don't have my polearm. It looks like I changed it out for this crummy axe. We're just going to have to do the best we can with this short axe. This is a disadvantage of a short axe like this. It's not easy to wield on a horse, right? You don't have the same reach. It's got some serious disadvantages here, but it's what we have left at this stage, right? We're going to cause some trample damage, 30 to that guy, 32 to that guy, and I'm just going to bob and weave through here and hopefully not take too many arrows. I'm prioritizing Fiends and Fiend champions, right? This is just standard practice of war. You target their most dangerous units first, almost like the Mafia. They would always take out like the hitmen of the other side, or their most intelligent leaders. You're always going to target the enemy that you're most concerned about first, and then we can deal with these these heroes and highborn youths and whatnot later. They're starting to kite pretty well here, so I'm pouring my infantry in as hard as I can, and we're cycle charging here with Cav. This definitely has a shot to work, right? As long as the enemy keeps falling back like this, it means they're not firing 100 arrows at us. It gives us an ounce of hope here. Maybe it's more than an ounce. They're starting to dwindle rapidly here. They just killed Varag. That's one of our prime skirmishers. We've got a few other infantry waiting up now. The archers are being told to charge. I see them actually shooting arrows still. Yelen is still racking up kills. And we've mowed down a lot of their Fiend champs. Alright, it's time to join the crews on the ground. We're going to apply full court press here. Archers and skirmishers told to hold, fire, and charge. And we're going to join them. Take a few arrows in the face. And barrel in here. I see this fucking Fiend champ trying to line me up, motherfucker. Now my fast axe is lethal, right? It's not as useful on a horse, but my god, is it fast on ground, right? And I think they just routed. Yeah, looking up at the power bar, this battle is over. Nice. So this was, I'll try to be forthwith on all of these challenges. This was my third attempt on this battlefield with these units here. So the first time I waited too long for us to charge, sort of charge the opening, and way too many of their forces poured in. The second time I got a lot better hold of that opening. We jammed it up nicely, but I didn't try and kite. I just thought we could hammer them with ranged weapons. Look how many javelins are in her shield. Nice blocking. And so this third time we added kiting to the effect, and ultimately it was successful here. 3 times, but third time's a charm here. 700 Battanians into the dirt. Let me know what you think of this series, friends. We're going to continue it for a little while. It's fun for me. It's just a little side series. It's basically an exhibition on how strong companions can be. And I've gotten a pretty good response. You guys seem to enjoy this stuff, so I'll probably do, a handful more of these. I'm probably going to increase the difficulty to like an insane level here. One of these battles, we're definitely going to challenge, 1,000 enemies. We may even try to defend a keep against, more than 1,000. So let me know what you think, friends, and please subscribe and like and all that kind of things. I appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you, friends, next time.